When I read through this, and I'm reading it all over again, and I've read this a bunch of times now, and every time I read this, I'm more and more convinced this is so much more in alignment with what the Bible actually says. So, and here's why I think this is important. Why am I doing this? Why am I spending all this time talking about just because I want to argue with premillennialists? No. Here's why I think this is so important. Because I believe, now I could be wrong about all this. The rapture could happen. I don't know. I don't think so. But nevertheless, even if the rapture is true, even if it's going to happen, I believe that the enemy has used this rapture scenario, coming tribulation doctrine to do some really bad things in the body of Christ. Okay? Because we've got all of these Christians. I believe what has happened to a lot of Christians because they're just sitting around waiting for the rapture to take place. So Jesus is going to come and rescue them, take them out of this horrible place. And so they've got this Levitis, right? They have withdrawn from the culture. But we have been commissioned by Jesus Christ to be in this culture, to be a light in this culture. We have been commissioned by Jesus Christ to occupy this earth until Jesus returns, not to withdraw from the earth and sit in a corner, scared, waiting for Jesus to come rescue us from this terrible place. That's not what we've been called to do. We are victorious conquerors now. The kingdom of heaven is here right now. And it happened when Jesus came the first time, and he died and shed his blood, and then he rose again, and then he ascended back up to heaven, and he came into his kingdom. Right then, the kingdom of heaven has been here ever since, and it has continued to grow and grow and grow. And that is why this is victorious eschatology. Premillennialist could also be called defeated eschatology, because that's what happens in the minds of a lot of people who believe that, because they just think everything's going to keep getting worse and worse and worse and worse, and then Jesus is going to come save us. And I don't believe that's biblical. I don't believe that's what God has told us in his word, and I'm not believing this just because I prefer it, because it's all happy and sunshine and flowers. I believe it because I've studied the Bible myself, and I believe this is much more logical of an interpretation of what we really see in the scriptures. This makes so much more sense. This is more in alignment. That's why I believe it's so important.